Hey! Who's there? Huh? Hey, stop, man! What are you doing there? Hey, stop! Oh, man. Hey, stop, man! Where you going, man? Freeze, motherfucker! Hey, where you... Oh, man. Freeze, motherfucker! Man. Oh, man. Hey, mother... Oh, man. Who's there? Who's there? Fucker. Where you go? Huh? What was that? Huh? Hey, where you... Hey, where you going, man? What was that? Here we going now. What was that? Freeze, motherfucker! Oh, man. Motherfucker!
Warehouse. Your handiwork, I presume? Not experienced much in the creatures of the night, are you? For future reference, you might keep in mind that werewolves aren't in the habit of introducing themselves. I see my reputation, for once, does not precede me. My name is Beckett. I haven't been following you per se. We've just coincidentally been at the same places at the same time, for different reasons. So sorry if I unnerved you. Tell me, have you by chance seen or felt anything strange since your embrace? A ghost? Quite ordinary. I generally pay wraiths no mind. All but a few are willing to give up their secrets. Thin bloods. They're a fascination of mine. They are considered a weaker, more human-like kindred, hence the name, thin blood. But they are sired same as any of us. I've heard a large concentration of them live in this city. They're one of the reasons I'm in Los Angeles. Something to look forward to, eh? Most of my contacts here report sensing something unusual in the night air, like a sense of dread or pressure. But I'm not a native to these parts, so I can't tell if it's irregular. And since you're still fresh, perhaps you're not attuned to it. Pleasure meeting your acquaintance, but there are rumblings for me to discredit. We shall, I'm certain, meet again. Or never again. Good night, young one, and be careful. You're very likely being hunted by the Sabbat.
Freeze, motherfucker!
Your handiwork, I presume? I hadn't planned on it. I see my reputation. Tell me. A goat. Thin bloods. They're a fascination of mine. They are considered a weaker, more human-like kindred. Hence the name, Thin Blood. But they are sired same as any of us. I've heard a large concentration of them live in this city. They're one of the reasons I'm in Los Angeles. Most of my contacts here report sensing something unusual in the night air, like a sense of dread or pressure. But I'm not a native to these parts, so I can't tell if it's irregular. And since you're still fresh, perhaps you're not attuned to it. Pleasure meeting your acquaintance, but there are rumblings for me to discredit. We shall, I'm certain, meet again. Or never again. Good night, young one, and be careful. You're very likely being hunted by the Sabbat.
Nice work, fledgling. I felt that explosion a mile away. It's all over the news, too. Man, there's gonna be some pissed-off Sabbat just howling for blood tonight. Beckett? Well, I know of him. Why? No kidding. Huh. Must be something major happening if he's in town. Beckett is a historian of sorts. He's unearthed more vampire lore than anyone. Well, that's all Beckett does. Seek the truth behind our condition. What do you... Like what? Nice work, Beckett. No kidding. Huh. Must be something major happening. Nice work, Beckett. No kidding. Beckett is a What do you need? I know you did. Sharp kid. Can track like a bloodhound. I watched him work for a while before I approached him. I had no idea how eager he would be to help. I knew you would. I had him watching you-know-who for me. It was inevitable you'd pass through her joint. I told him to keep an eye out for you, gave him lines to feed you, the whole bit. Nice work, Beck. No kid. Beckett is a historian. What do you... Those murders are definitely the work of kindred. Probably some caitiff getting revenge on everyone who made fun of him in high school. Once the sheriff tracks this guy down, they're gonna make one hell of an example of him. Pretty close to the mark. Caitiff are just kind of riffraff vampires who don't know anything about vampire society, don't know their clan, mutt vampires. What I suspect you were perilously close to becoming if LaCroix hadn't intervened. Yeah? The Anarchs. Yeah, I respect what they do, strenuous liberty and all that jazz, but they're kidding themselves. Wherever there's an ounce of power to be had, there'll be people dicking each other over. You think the Camarilla invented that? From what I hear, he's a likable sort, and that's a problem. Nines Rodriguez is the kind of guy you want on your side, and more kindred go anarch every day because of him. Clans are just bloodlines, you know, a common root shared and passed on from sire to child. They're a bunch of malcontents. They get pumped up by rousing the rabble they keep around them. Like that's hard. Nothing breeds faster than contempt. And that's what the Bruja are all about. Jealousy and contempt. Sure. Well, they fancy themselves loners and drifters running around the countryside and barking at the moon. It's all just an act. Gangrel can walk upright. They just choose not to. Sure. Malkavians are, interesting. There's something to them. Learning to sort the wisdom from the bullshit can be some work, and, not all of them are worth listening to, but, they're all good fun, if you ask me. Sure. The Nosferatu are damn good at what we do. No one even argues that. If you need to know, if you want it found, you come to us. We're indispensable. Not a bad place to be in the afterlife. The Nosferatu stick together, pool resources. We have more going on than anyone could guess at. Our web blankets the night. Sure. I don't rub elbows with the pretty bloodsuckers much, but I've seen them work people like puppeteers, and that's admirable. Now, if only they'd get off their slimy asses and put their talent to some use besides feeding their egos. Sure. Mages. I don't have any reason to trust them. They're creepy, and I think they like it that way. But to be honest, I don't hear much about the Tremere. There's a few in LA, but all in all, there's not that many of them. Sure. Well, they get a bad rap if you ask me. Everyone likes to take shots at the man in charge, but when it comes to getting the job done, the Ventru know how to step up. They can take the heat. Sure, fledgling. It's war out there after all. You should know all you can about the different sides. The Camarilla works. When you let vampires run wild, you wind up with caitiff frenzying in the streets, thin bloods blowing the Masquerade, and hunters sniffing around. Law and order is the kindred's friend. Chester. You call him LaCroix a Chester? You'd better watch that, fledgling. Anyway, what am I gonna say? He's the boss now. Yeah? You ask me, the Sabbat makes no sense. They couldn't care less about the Masquerade, and they seem to care even less about themselves. It's like, hey, let's all spread hell on Earth so we can feel big and bad. Oops, I'm dead. Now how did that happen? Yeah? What do you need? Like what? Sure. Chester. You call him LaCroix a Chester? Yeah? What do you need? I know you did. Sharp kid. Can track like a bloodhound. I watched him work for a while before I approached him. I had no idea how eager he would be to help. I knew you would. I had him watching you-know-who for me. It was inevitable you'd pass through our joint. I told him to keep an eye out for you, gave him lines to feed you, the whole bit. Come on, fledgling, don't ever think you're ahead of the ball in this game. No matter what action you take, some kindred you never even met already foresaw it and found a way to profit from it. No, you helped me remove a spy without revealing myself or getting my hands dirty. Pretty good actor, that Knox, huh? Don't take it hard, fledgling. I won't be the last elder to milk you for a favor. Sure. You better get back downtown. Prince LaCroix is gonna want to hear all about this victory. What do you need? Janice's daughter? What the... Oh, Janice. The two-faced god? You mean Therese Vorman. Oh man, you Malkavians are really messed up. Anyway, that was just silly vampire politicking, fledgling. No more. You get used to that kind of thing. I had my suspicions. What an interesting specimen. But a pain in my dead ass for sure. Of course it did. As if vampires and women both weren't insecure enough. Get them together in one Malkavian body. And look what happens. Yeah, no kidding. Now that the Camarillas moved into L.A., Therese wants... What do you need? Janice is... Of course it did. As if vampires and women both weren't insecure enough. Get them together in one Malkavian body. And look what happens. Yeah, no kidding. Now that the Camarillas moved into L.A., Therese wants the title of Prince of Santa Monica. I guess she saw me as a threat. Funny thing is, I could care less. I wouldn't want to be the Prince of Terre Haute. I leave that headache to the Ventru. Besides, there's only like 4 vampires in all of Santa Monica. Some kingdom. Like what?
columns of the great beast's hall. All you walk willingly to the eternal feast of the guilty.
Hello, LA. You're up way past your bedtime, aren't you? Hope you
Hey, Slick! Great to see you again.
If you're new to town or just new to this
Bail
radio
bu-
thing, you're listening to
Sure, pal, what-
of Night. The only girl who will spend the night with you and leave first thing in the morning, guaranteed. Well, looks
Hurry on your way to the apocalypse. Always room for heathens.
What'll it be?
I'm eating.
Where to? What's the hops, bro?
What is this shit? Something else you need, Chief? You talking about Therese and Jeanette?
Hey, what's up, man? Aw, man, thanks again for your help.
Hey, you! Smoke anymore?
the hops, bro.
No speak English.
No.
I am not cleaning that up.
I told you, I would... If I could only rest for a second.
You might have saved me, but I can't.
I don't know. Then ask.
Tonight, investigators say the scene closely mirrors those of slayings in Glendale and Long Beach. In both cases, the bodies of the victims were described as ripped, torn, bloody entrails smeared upon the walls, splatter on broken windows, feet in weird places, murder, murder, murder. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be some form of giant octopus, though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be from a yet undiscovered family of sea creatures. In other news, an apparent third victim of the Southland slasher has prompted the closing of the Santa Monica Pier, where the body was found earlier tonight. Investigators say the scene closely mirrors those of slayings in Glendale and Long Beach. In both cases, the bodies of the victims were described as ripped, torn, bloody, and trailed. Feet in weird places. Murder, murder, murder. Art criticism or vandalism? Paintings on display at Santa Monica's Gallery Noir were slashed by an intruder who evaded capture by security. The paintings were estimated to be worth nearly $250,000. They were to be auctioned in a charity event tomorrow night. Actor Ash Rivers is lucky to be alive after his car crashed into the gate at Parasite Studios earlier tonight. Witnesses say that they were shocked when the Negative Zero star emerged unscathed and apparently unfazed by his high-speed accident. Rivers' agent released a statement stating that Rivers' crash was due to a mechanical problem and that the studio is not pursuing legal action against Rivers for the trademark gate's destruction. Miraculously, this is the second crash Rivers has escaped unharmed in the last year. A robbery gone bad at the Surfside Diner left several dead after the attempts by the would-be robbers were thwarted by a diner patron turned vigilante. Witnesses saw the vigilante run from the diner after they were alerted by the sound of gunfire inside. Police have stated that vigilantism will not be tolerated and that they know it was you. A massive explosion rocked Santa Monica tonight, sending several fireballs into the sky and prompting a lockdown of the warehouse district where the explosion took place. Early reports suggest that the warehouse destroyed in the explosion was being used in a weapon smuggling operation and that the source of the detonation possibly came from you. Stay tuned to Channel 3 for further updates. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads.
Need a ride?
Let's drain it. Let's take it and leave it out for the sunrise.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Think you could blow up our warehouse and get away with it? Ah, lick.
Let's pull out its eyes and its tongue and its teeth. I want its teeth.
Camarilla, fuck. Boys, I think we could all use a little entertainment. Those of you sitting in the first few rows will get wet. Son of a bitch!
Leave.
There's 3 of us, Rodriguez.
Yeah. 3 of us. What are you gonna do? Shoot us?
This ain't over. We'll find you. You too, Rodriguez. You're both dead. Nobody messes with the Sabbat and lives.
Keep moving. Trouble sure seems to like you. Good effort. Execution needs a little work. You look like shit. Name's Nines. Same thing that happens to a lot of anarchs, Malk. But you already know that somehow, don't you? Should have been more careful, newbie. This ain't the burbs. Kid, I got things to deal with. Why don't you pay me a visit at the last round tonight? I don't know what you've heard so far, but it's time you heard the real story. This is a mean existence. Stay out of trouble, kid.